Good morning. I hope you're all feeling really well today and enjoying these days that are sunnier than they have been before. It's a little cold, but it's sunnier, and that's kind of fun. Today we're going to read a story about a lot of people, 5,000 of them. Can you think of what 5,000 might look like? Think about the fair. Have you ever been to the state fair? That's a lot of people. Maybe there's 5,000 there. But Jesus was out with his disciples, and they were preaching and they were talking to people, and a big crowd came and heard them. And something happened. I want you to listen to what happened when he was talking to all those people. And think about a little boy. There's a little boy involved in this. Think about if you were that little boy. I wonder what happens. I'm going to read out of this book, the Sparks Bible. I think all of you might have one by now. So if you want to, you can follow along. So, Jesus feeds the 5,000. It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day as Jesus and his disciples crossed the Sea of Galilee in a boat with white sails. Jesus had been healing the sick people, and many more people of all ages came to see him again that day. Maybe they could hear more of Jesus' story or see him show God's power through another miracle. They've been hearing about this guy, Jesus. And he was wondering, here's a picture. You can see all the people right there, and there's the boat with the disciples on it. When Jesus saw the large crowd of men and women and children, he asked his friend Philip, "Philip, how are we going to get enough food to feed all these people?" I guess the people didn't bring their lunch, so they were worried about them eating. Well, Philip answered, "I could work for 6 months and not earn enough money to buy food for all these men and women and children." Oh, Philip was concerned. The disciples didn't know what to do. Just then, Andrew, he pointed to a young child and said, "Here's a boy who has 5 small loaves of bread." Think about it, 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. 2 fish. It's something, but it certainly isn't enough food for all of these people. The boy looked very nervous as he said in a small voice, "Jesus, please take my food if you think it will help." Well, Jesus took the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish that day that the boy had offered and asked his friends to have them sit down. All the people, the crowd, have them all sit down. And all those people are sitting down. About 5,000 people sat in the grassy meadow by the lake that day. Here's a picture of the little boy and his loaves of bread and his 2 fish. Look at these guys with their tongues out. I think they're hungry. After Jesus gave thanks to God, he blessed the 5 loaves of bread and the 2 fish. Then he shared the food with all the people who were there that day. All 5,000 people ate until they were full. Did you catch that? 5,000 people on 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. Wow. Then Jesus said, "Now gather up all the leftovers." And do you know what? There were enough leftover pieces of bread to fill 12 large baskets. More loaves and fishes left over than the boy had given to Jesus. More leftovers than when they started with. The disciples shook their heads in disbelief as they struggled to pick up the baskets heavy with food. Take a look. Look at all those baskets of food. Extra food. The people saw the full baskets of leftovers and began to understand that something very extraordinary had just happened. Another miracle. Jesus smiled as he heard the people say, God must have sent Jesus to us. It was a day the boy, the disciples, and all the people would never forget. Wow. What do you think? 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, feeding 5,000 people. That was a miracle. Today, I want you to think about it. Maybe you were that little boy, or maybe it's a little girl, but maybe you were that little boy who gave Jesus his food that day. What would you tell people about what happened? What would you tell your friends? Or, Daddy, guess what? What do you think they would think? What would they say? Try it out today. See what the people, what would you tell the people? Thank you. Enjoy your day. Take good care. Be safe.